the saga continues of the Warriors' continuance of disrespect to a player that has so much potential. Let me have a word with y'all. All right, so this is according to Anthony Slater and Shams Charania. After remaining in the negotiation shadows for the first 6 weeks of Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency, Golden State Warriors owner Joe Lacob emerged from behind the curtain in mid-August. General Manager Mike Dunleavy sent a weekend request for an in-person Monday morning meeting on August 11th in Miami. The 10 a.m. meeting mattered. Lacob planned to attend the Golden State Valkyries game that night against Sacramento. But the matter was urgent enough to pull Joe Lacob across the country. Bargaining between Kuminga's side and Dunleavy's front office had hit a wall. The Warriors had shut down sign-in trades steadfast all season in declining frameworks of Royce O'Neal and second-round compensation from the Phoenix Suns or Malik Monk, and a future first-round pick from the Sacramento Kings. Sources said Kuminga had made clear his lack of interest in the 2-year $45 million offer from the Warriors. That they had put in front of him because of the team option on the second season and waiving the no-trade clause. So far, the four most relevant parties, Lacob, Dunleavy, Kuminga, and Kuminga's agent, Aaron Turner, convened for what felt like the most significant conversation of a Warriors offseason stuck in the mud. Yeah, the Warriors ain't do shit. They had a horrible-ass offseason. They talked numbers and structure and the 4 years of basketball scars that led them to this stalemate. Yeah, because you kept putting Kuminga in the rotation, out the rotation, in the rotation, and then when he's out the rotation, when you need him to show up in the playoffs, he go crazy. But there was an underlying question from the Lacob side that felt the most pressing. Do you want to be here? The $21.7 million salary the Warriors were proposing to give Kuminga next season was more immediate money than he would receive in the Phoenix and Sacramento offers, though far less in long-term guarantees. It would make him the fourth highest paid player on a team with 3 Hall of Famers. 2 Hall of Famers. They're going to put Draymond in the Hall of Fame anyway. Considering the frigid nature of the restricted market, the Warriors, sources said, felt more like the offer was fair, and Kuminga's reluctance is a sign of his desire to escape. And that's facts. He don't want to fucking be there. If a nigga turned down 2 years and $45 million, which is good money, probably the most money that Kuminga has ever seen. A nigga turning down $20 million a year for 2 years, he don't want to be there. And Kuminga don't want to do what Cam Thomas just did. But within this 4-year multi-character tug-of-war is layered. The team-friendly structure was designed and pitched to Kuminga as a contract more easily moved when eligible in January. Because Golden State don't want to trade Kuminga at his current contract because they won't get the same value in return because of Kuminga's potential. They want to sign him to that contract so that they can get like pieces for their team, whether it be veteran pieces to help them win now, because Golden State has always been a win now type of team. They've never valued their younger players. Look at James Wiseman. Look at what they're doing to Kuminga now. Look at Jordan Poole. They let Jordan Poole walk out the door. You got to look at history. The Warriors don't have a good history of keeping their younger players. They just don't. They could keep him and bury him on the bench or trade him to an undesirable situation. He's got fierce belief in his talents and is searching for a path to somewhere where he believes will grant him an opportunity to flourish. So Kuminga turned the question back on Lakeup and the Warriors. Do you want me here? Good counter, Kuminga. Look, man, I always felt like Jonathan Kuminga deserved an opportunity to play ball in Golden State. And I just think that that's just the bottom line. In my honest opinion. I think the timing is long overdue. That was a really good question by Kuminga. That was a great counter, in my opinion. All right, so September brings an extra level of urgency for NBA teams without complete rosters. The Warriors, entering the final stages of Stephen Curry's feasible contention window, have only 9 of their 15 spots officially filled prior to training camp. Kuminga is the domino that triggers the rest of their plans, so it's no surprise that Kuminga's phone has lit up on the business front over the last few weeks. Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green have checked on Kuminga, his plans, and his mindset. Kuminga's agent, Turner, has delivered the latest proposal from the front office after a week of increased negotiations. But still no resolution. The Warriors have strengthened their effort. Late last week, Dunleavy offered Kuminga a 3-year, $75.2 million deal with a team option in the 3rd season. That's $48.3 million guaranteed in the first 2 seasons, basically the same per year salary as Josh Giddey. So he will be making Josh Giddey money. Wow. Didn't know that part. I didn't know that contract was offered and Kuminga turned it down. He don't want to be there. A motherfucker turns down 3 years and $75 million. He don't want to be there. The difference is half the length, no Diddy, and team control 3rd season and subliminal understanding that the contract is more of a trade asset than a commitment to a partnership. Dunleavy and the Warriors are requesting the same structure as their previous proposal on the 2-year, $45 million framework, a team option in the 2nd season, and a waiving of the inherent no-trade clause. Their unwillingness to budge on the team option and those 2 specific offers is a major part of the holdup. Kuminga, gripping to the first lever of control he has had in his young career, is resistant to the idea of this. The only non-team option the Warriors have made to Kuminga is 3 years and $54 million, fully guaranteed. $18 million per season, which is still more than the other deal, except the 3-year, the big money deal. Now, there's a reason why Kuminga hasn't taken the qualifying offer yet. Turner and Kuminga are holding out in case something more appealing, be a contract offer, sign and trade, materializes, in part because of the belief of how imperative it is for the Warriors to avoid having him on the qualifying offer. If Kuminga returns on it, he can veto any trade next season on an $8 million expiring contract without bird rights attached. His market value is greatly diminished even if he were to approve a trade. The Warriors will lose control of a crucial roster-building tool during Curry's one of Curry's final contention seasons. Walk a potential major distraction into the locker room and will be at a great risk of watching Kuminga walk away for nothing next summer. There are side benefits to that overall net negative that are being considered as part of the equation. Kuminga returning on the qualifying offer would allow the Warriors to remain below the first apron as a repeater tax team, of course. They will save nearly $70 million in luxury tax money. They would still have Kuminga, a rotation wing for a season, on a cheap deal that will maintain his bird rights, giving them the opportunity to revisit a long-term deal next summer and get value out of him in a sign and trade scenario similar to what they did for Klay Thompson. Warriors worked Thompson into a 6-team deal that included Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson.
Coast-to-coast instrumental.
But that would be on Kuminga's cooperation. If he's on the qualifying offer, he was still planning to show up to training camp and be a part of the Warriors. All right, so everybody's still playing mind games. That is the summary of this scenario. Both teams, Kuminga wants to test his value. But guys, if Kuminga wanted to be in Golden State, he would have took that $75 million offer that he was offered. But he don't want to be there because the team don't value him. They don't play him right. They don't play him the right amount of minutes. And they don't give him the opportunity. So Kuminga's just like, fuck that. We gonna play cat and mouse. We gonna play Tom and Jerry with y'all.